how to colour a nice, calm, slightly wavy ocean scene, just like the reference image that I've got here. So we're going to start by flooding kind of the area with a very pale blue and then blending in a more of like a turquoise blue at the bottom. So it kind of goes from light at the top towards a bit more of a different kind of tone of blue, I guess, rather than that bright sky blue. It's more like a jaded green turquoise blue. Then I'm going to go in with a slightly different kind of darker shade, making those wave patterns. Remembering that the waves further away from you are going to be a lot closer together because of that perspective, and the waves nearer you are going to be much bigger and wider. I'm just going in with a slightly darker blue here now, just adding in a bit of the shadowing. So I used my reference image to look at where the shadows were, and then use my pen just to kind of dot in those shadows. Again, not block colouring it, but more like dotting and dabbing, doing kind of tiny lines to give that different texture as the colour isn't solid. I'm then going to go in with like a grey blue and a lighter blue just to add those kind of highlights back in. Oh, forgot to do the numbers. Okay, now I'm going to use my white pen. Now this is where we need our reference image the most, because we're imagining where the light kind of source is. And obviously these waves are very calm, they're very gentle, so the light's just catching them as they kind of shine in the sun there. So I'm just dotting in my white patches and kind of blobs as to where that white colour is going to be, making sure that I'm not covering up my shadowed parts, because obviously they're the bits that are in shadow. So I'm kind of tracing over the top of those waves and those peaks and those troughs, just highlighting some of the areas that would be catching the light. And now I'm going to use my finger just to smudge them out, because for the ones that are further away, they're not in focus. They're kind of more blurred and a bit more kind of hinted at, but not super clear like the ones in the foreground or the ones in the middle. So I can use my finger just to blot that white pen away a little bit. Okay, I'm now getting a much kind of darker blue pen just to really add in those shadows, because I felt like my shadows had got lost a little bit, which is why I used a darker blue, just kind of add them back in. Now going in my light pen just to colour over some of those white areas, because again, they won't be perfectly white in all those spots, but they would be kind of lighter than the other colours. And there you have it, a nice calm waves tutorial. I've added in a bit of yellow for a bit of sunlight. If you give this technique a go, let me know. I'd love to see how you get on with it. I think it looks quite effective.